Good morning, friends. Hello. Hello to you. Let's step over here a second. Good morning. How is everybody on this beautiful day? This this mighty Thursday. I pray you're well and good and whole. That the live stream is finding you today in all the beauty of that you may find. So, good morning, everybody. Hello. How are you? You doing well today? Hello, hello. Good day to you. Hello, friends. Get a couple of people coming along here. Hey, Donna, good morning to you. Glad you're here. John, hello, hello. Glad you hope you're having a good day. Hope you are well. Hey, Cecile, good morning. I hope you're having a great day too. That's a kindness. Things are going well for you. Jane and John, everybody, hello, hello. So glad you're here. Hope you're having a hoping it is beautiful up there, the Great North Woods. Hope you're having a good time and all is well. So good, everybody. Hello. All right, as we get going this morning, I want to actually begin us with a practice we haven't been able to do very often. It just hasn't come up very often, which is uh, birthday surprises. You know, if it's your birthday and I find out and you are a part of our community here, I will sing happy birthday to you. It's a thing we do. And today is the birthday of one of my dearest friends, Fannie Faye Davis. It is she's in it. She often watches, not always catches the live stream because of work, but is often here and is a great and beloved part of this podcast and this live stream. So it is our joy to be with her on her birthday today. And so, because it's Fannie Faye Davis, she gets the special. She gets the banjolele. No, but not everybody gets the banjolele. So this is happy birthday to Fannie Faye. Are you ready? Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Fannie Faye Davis. Happy birthday to you. We got there at the end. So someday I'll get better at that. But happy birthday, Faye. I hope you're having a great day. I hope it is beautiful and good and wonderful and filled with promise. I will miss seeing your face. All right, friends. Welcome. It is the 19th day of January at this 11:11, and I'm glad you're with us on this Thursday. I hope it's a wonderful and beautiful day for you. Uh, so I've here in Fall River, I've had the occasion to meet the mayor a number of times. I really like Mayor Coogan. He's been a good guy, and he's I truly believe he's kind of tried hard to kind of work with the challenges of the city and do the things to make it better. I see him at different things and all that sort of stuff. But I want you to think about this for a second. Just the weirdness, maybe, or the thing. If somebody told me, you know, Mayor Coogan thinks about you every day. You're a part of the city, and you know he thinks about you every day. And I'd be like, a little creepy, Mayor Coogan. Not gonna lie. But this but and whatever your context, like maybe you work in a big company, like the CEO of your company thinks about you every day. Thinks about, I wonder how everybody's doing. I wonder how Gene is doing today. I wonder how John's doing today. I wonder how Rosalia is doing today. Or maybe it's maybe it's the president of your nation thinks about you every day. Every day says, I wonder how they're, like I really hope they're doing well. We think about that and we think like, well, maybe there's a creepy factor, maybe there's a weird factor, or maybe there's just an impossibility factor. There's 83,000 people in the city of Fall River. I don't even I'm a part of the city, but I don't even live in the city. I think it would be odd that Mayor Coogan would think about me every day. But a part of that though would also be really flattered, be like, oh gosh, that's really kind that the guy who's kind of politically in charge of this place actually has a sense to think about me every once in a while. Luke chapter 12 verse 7 has a part of it that says, even the hairs of your head are all numbered. This is Jesus describing to the disciples. He's talking to the disciples about how they think they've been kind of forgotten or lost, or they're not they're somehow disconnected from God's love or God's providence because the stuff that's been going on. And he says to them, fear not, because the very hairs of your head are all numbered. God knows the hair on your head. Like even knows the hair on your head if you lived through the 80s with like really big hair and had that even me, who the hairs on my head are getting fewer every year, then God knows all of them. God, it is a symbol and a sign of the fact that God knows us completely intimately. And the way I was talking about the way Mayor, how would I feel if Mayor Coogan thought about me every day, or the President of the United States thought about me every day, or the grand executive of where I live thought about me every day, and not just thought about me in the sense of like, oh, I'm a person that lives or is a part of this, but that to think about Andy, and to think about John and Karen and Rosalia and Donna and Fanny Faye. This is the way God thinks of us every day. This is the way that God thinks about us every moment. This is the way that God thinks about us again and again and again when we're even incapable of thinking about ourselves. Maybe when we're off the rails. Maybe when our hearts are cracked open with grief. Maybe when our bodies are sick and we can't even pay attention to anything. Maybe when we're locked in grief. Maybe when we're just lost and adrift. God is always present with us, knowing every hair on our head, knowing everything that God, and knowing every promise that is within us, and cultivating the goodness and the wonder and the beauty, and helping us set aside the things that would stand in the way of it, and taking away those things that would simply block out the great light that we're meant to shine in this world. You see, the wonder of this is that it's so beautiful and so intimate and so close to us that we can't see it. If you were one of those 80s people that had big hair, if you were lived through that era, like that, God help you if you did, but that the Aquanet alone would kill a lot of our brain cells. That in all of this, if you spent through that time, there's still this way of God's presence with us again and again and again, kind of coming back to the heart of our being, that we are known and we are loved beyond measure. God is interested and God is a part of every detail of our life. And that can feel freaky. That can feel weird. But the acceptance of it is such a hard and difficult thing for us. I don't know about you, but my internal life, and often so many, I think, other people's internal lives, we got all these boxes, we got all these compartments, we got all these things, we got all these rooms, we got all these places, and we got closets that we just will not let see the light of day because of what, kind of wiggly worms we've got stuffed in there. Friends, the power and the beauty of a God that knows every hair on your head, of a God that spends every waking moment thinking about you. And not only that, has an entire staff and an entire posse also dedicated to you. Has angels and archangels and all the hosts of heaven, all those who have loved you in this world that are still in the next conspiring for your goodness. It's not just, and it's not just Jesus' love and Jesus' presence that is with you, but that flows through all of the creation, the love of creation that is a part of your life and your being right here and right now. This is the reality of the world. I'm often, as a pastor, I often get, well, pastor, how does that work in the real world? Whether regardless of what we're talking about, because somehow the real world is actually this world that is, dog eat dog and cruel and mean and harsh and unforgiving and constricted, and there never are enough resources, and people actually don't look out for each other, and there's that all of those the tropes and conceptions that you'll get about the real world. Friends, the reality of what this one line, the reality of what this little one assurance that comes out of the Gospel of Luke, is the reality of the fact that world, the world that we encounter, where that is cruel and that is constricted and that is lost and that is painful and that is injurious and that is predatory and that is broken and that is hurt, that world is actually the false world. The real world is, and it's evident in creation. This is the thing, it's evident every day of creation. There's not a, God doesn't take a day off from informing and loving creation. It's not like there are woodchucks every day, and then on a Tuesday, I'm just so tired of the woodchucks, and there's no more woodchucks. That all of the divine life and the divine beauty that flows into creation from God, that keeps whose love and being keeps it all going, keeps it all alive, keeps it all as a part of our being, and in this beautiful creation that is held and working as intimately as your heartbeat and as the hair in your head, all of it is 24/7, never ending and never stopping. This is the love that God has for you. In Isaiah 49:16, it says this. It says, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. Think about that. This is, if you want to know, does God have tattoos? Yes. And where are they? They're on the palms of his hands. And whose name is it? It's yours. That every moment of that, whenever God's operation is in the world doing something, he is doing it with you in mind. That's what that's saying. He's saying that God's operation in the world, that every time that your name is written on the palms of his hands. It's not just love, like this warm, gushy, chocolatey feeling that God has for us. And it's not just it's not just the a big warm bear hug and it's going to be okay, but it is the very operation and the fabric of the universe. It's the very hairs on your head. And friends, I don't care, who you look like, and how much hair you got, and whether you're, a man of a certain age that, might not have a lot anymore. The love of God is, for all of us, a big hair moment. We all have that 80s Aquanet look going. I want to give you one more example before we get out of here today. So I've never been particularly struck. I'm not a particularly starstruck guy. Like, I think people are people and that sort of stuff. But there was this one musician. She's passed now. Her name was Nancy Griffith. And I used to listen to her stuff. We go through phases, and then we kind of date artists. I don't know about you, but I kind of like, I have relationships with artists, and I kind of listen to their stuff, and then I kind of break up with them, and then I'll go on and listen to something else. It's kind of how I roll. People do it different. No judging. But there's this phase that I just really loved her stuff, and she has this twangy West Texas voice, one of the most brilliant guitarists that ever lived. Just had this way of writing these most beautiful melodies and songs. Go look her stuff up if you're not a Nancy Griffith fan, you will be. She's great, And I was just in this phase where and so I had the occasion to go see her in concert, and so it was this big stadium or a big kind of festival outside kind of deal, and and she's kind of coming out, and they'd come out of their trailer and they'd walk up and they'd go onto the stage, and she was, and I'd kind of bustled my way to the front, and I kind of I was looking, and sure enough, just before she came down the stage, she kind of waved and turned and waved at the crowd. Now, was she waving at me? Yes, she was. You're right, she was waving at me. So even if she wasn't waving at me, she was waving at me. And I can remember to this day, it's the one time this has happened to me in my life. I came up on my tiptoes and I was like I was fanboying like anybody's business. Like, yeah, I'm man enough to own. I was a mushball, like fanboying over this little folk artist from West Texas who as an afterthought before she went back into her trailer, just kind of turned around and waved at the crowd. I was so excited to see her. Friends, the level of excitement in me that I had that moment when she turned her face and looked towards me is dwarfed in the level of excitement that God has for you when you turn your face to look at Him and spend a little time with Him. That God is actually fanboying all of us. That God is actually excited in the progress and the life of our being. That God's actually rejoicing in whatever it is, whatever next thing, whatever next hit we're going to try and strum, whatever next thing we're going to do on the guitar, whatever next thing it is we're going to create and to bring into being, like whatever moment it is that we're going to do, that God is excited in the being and the creation and the doing of it. Whether it's the doing of the dishes, whether it's the loving of our children, whether it's our own taking wonder at the creation and looking at the stars, whether it's the petting our dog, what doesn't matter what it is. The level of excitement I spent in that moment is nothing compared to the level of excitement that Christ has when we turn our gaze to Him. Friends, even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. And I don't care what you got on your head right now, you got big hair. You got Aquanet hair. God has spent God's time rejoicing in you. Now, we can talk about how that works in an omniscient and omnipresent God, but it works. And it's true. And it's true for me and for you and for the child lost in the garbage heaps of India, in the Inuit Eskimo in the Arctic Circle, that for every one of us, God's rejoicing. God is fanboying in the attention that we would bring when we bring our gaze to Him and to the good and the true and the beautiful of the lives that He's given us to live. This, friends, is our big hair moment. I hope you will enjoy it today. I hope you will turn your face in thanks and gratitude to the Creator. And in the words of Paul, after he kind of describes to his little church in Corinth for the second time of how crazy and lost they are, he uses this line: "Thanks be to God for His indescribable grace." Friends, God's indescribable grace is upon you today. I hope you will revel in it. I hope you will turn and wave. I hope you will see and know the great excitement that the Creator of all things has in you. Well, that's my hope for you this week. Peace and grace to you, my friends. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. We will be worshiping here at 10 o'clock on Sunday. We are working through our series on the Lord's Prayer. We are coming to week 2 of the Lord's Prayer and having some fun hashing that out and working through it. Should your paths cross with Fannie Faye Davis today, please wish her happy birthday. And I hope that all of you have a great weekend and a blessed time in rejoicing in God's love for you. Peace and grace, my friends, and we'll pick it up next week with another 11:11.